What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know, but we're going to talk about a similar topic today. Does fat loss come first or health? Which one came first? So, look, does fat loss lead to health? Does health lead to fat loss? Let's talk about that. So, does losing fat lead to health? Yes, oftentimes it does, but not always. And does improving one's health often lead to or make it easier to lose fat? Yes, it often does, but not always. You see, we want to help at Steel Strength Training. We want to help people get leaner, which is losing fat, to get stronger, to build muscle, be able to lift more weight, to be in better shape, more capable, and to be healthy. Lean, strong, and healthy. Now, I think unless you have a major deficit in one of those areas, you can improve all of those three things simultaneously, which is what we want. But I think sometimes we have to ask, like when working with a specific client, which one of these do we need to address first? And sometimes it's both and. But if someone is generally living well, they're generally healthy, they've got a decent lifestyle, they're not living horribly unhealthy, and they generally feel well, but they're carrying an extra 20, 30, 40, 50 plus pounds, then yeah, attacking fat loss, diving into their training, their nutrition, their outside the gym activity, that's probably going to lead to fat loss, which is probably going to lead to better health. Beautiful. At the same time, if you've got somebody who's, maybe they're living a crazy lifestyle, and maybe it's maybe not even a lifestyle, maybe not even anything they're choosing, but they're dealing with inflammation, fatigue, brain fog, whatever, things that are slowing them down, whether it's because of choices they're making or not, like their health is a little bit off. Now, we're not doctors, we're not diagnosing, prescribing, none of that, but we do want to help people live a healthy lifestyle. We care about their health and wellness. And so sometimes in those clients, by trying to get them to lose fat first, by creating a calorie deficit, that is a stressor. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And yeah, losing the weight is often good for your health in the long run, but creating a calorie deficit, especially a significant one, can be an increased stressor, which like if their body's already stressed out, that could be a problem. It could make things worse. And so oftentimes in those situations, we want to address their health, their lifestyle, their sleep, their eating, but not necessarily from a calorie deficit standpoint, but making sure they're nourishing their bodies, they're sleeping well, they're reducing stress, they're taking care of their mental health, they're getting out in the sun, they're hydrating, all those things. And then once they become well, oftentimes as a result of that process, they start losing fat naturally, but if not, they will at least be in a place where it's easier for them to start losing fat. So I think it's important, just a word of caution. I think getting stronger, losing fat, and being healthier can all be improved at the same time unless you have a major deficit in any one of those areas. If you're super unhealthy, you're bedbound, well, you got to get healthier first before you can really get stronger and lose fat for the most part. If you've got 300 pounds to lose, right? Big example. If you got 300 pounds to lose, 200 pounds to lose, maybe it makes sense for you to just primarily focus on losing fat, which is going to improve your health and your strength to a degree. But focus on that first so that you can then start addressing the other areas. And obviously there's overlap, right? We're going to see breakdown with these descriptions. If you're just like super weak and out of shape, you might need to improve that before we can really start diving into like losing fat and things like that. But anyway, again, there's overlap there. But for the most part, in most of our clients, we can improve getting leaner, stronger, and healthier at the same time. So if you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone, why wouldn't you? But I think it's important that we don't fall into any one camp, that we assess each individually as the individual that they are. Most rules or most observations, most ideas, whatever, apply to most people most of the time, which also means that most people are always going to need some kind of special consideration with their program. So I just want to encourage you, don't fall into the fat loss obsessed camp that says, all these people that are overweight, if they would just lose fat, all their problems would go away. That might be true for some, maybe even most, but not all. Also, don't fall into the camp that's so obsessed with health and wellness and reducing inflammation and stress that they just think that solving that is going to solve all the problems. That's not necessarily true. We want to make sure we have a very well-rounded approach. So, does fat loss lead to health? Yes, it can. Most of the time, but not always. And does health lead to fat loss? Yes, it can, most of the time, but not always.